Okay, I'll be the first to admit that I haven't the slightest interest in anything that smacks of politics. But even I know that the Democratic National Convention took place 2 weeks ago and that the Republican National Convention took place 1 week ago. So it seems fitting, I think, to devote this week's 3 podcasts to songs and comedy routines about American presidents.
Hi-ho, do you know the names of the U.S. residents who then became the presidents and got a view from the White House loo of Pennsylvania Avenue?
George Washington was the first you see. He once chopped down a cherry tree.
President number 2 would be John Adams, and then number 3.
Tom Jefferson stayed up to write a declaration late at night, so he and his wife had a great big fight, and she made him sleep on the couch all night.
James Madison never had a son, and he fought the War of 1812.
James Monroe's colossal nose was bigger than Pinocchio's.
John Quincy Adams was number 6, and it's Andrew Jackson's butt he kicks, so Jackson learns to play politics. Next time he's the one that the country picks.
Martin Van Buren, number 8, for a one-term shot as chief of state.
William Harrison, how do you praise? That guy was dead in 30 days.
John Tyler, he liked country folk.
And after him came President Polk.
Zachary Taylor liked to smoke. His breath killed friends whenever he spoke.
1850, really nifty, Miller Fillmore's in.
Young and fierce was Franklin Pierce, the man without a chin.
Follows next a period spanning 4 long years with James Buchanan. Then the South starts shooting cannon, and we've got a civil war.
A war down south of Dixie.
Up to bat comes old Abe Lincoln.
There's a guy who's really thinking.
Kept the United States from shrinking, saved a ship of state from sinking.
Andrew Johnson's next. He had some slight defects.
Congress each would impeach.
And so the country now elects
Ulysses Simpson Grant, who would scream and rave and rant.
While drinking whiskey, oh, the risky, 'cause he'd spill it on his pants.
It's 1877 and the Democrats would gloat, but they're all amazed when Rutherford Hayes wins by just 1 vote.
James Garfield someone really hated 'cause he was assassinated.
Chester Arthur gets instated. 4 years later, he was traded.
Lord Grover Cleveland, really fat, elected twice as a Democrat. Then Benjamin Harrison, after that it's William McKinley up the bat.
Teddy Roosevelt charged up San Juan Hill.
And President Taft, he got the bill.
In 1913, Woodrow Wilson takes us into World War I. Warren Harding next in line.
It's Calvin Coolidge, he does fine.
And then in 1929, the market crashes and we fight.
It's Herbert Hoover's big debut. He gets the blame and loses too.
Franklin Roosevelt, president who helped us win in World War II.
Harry Truman, weird little human, serves 2 terms and when he's done.
It's Eisenhower who's got the power from 53 to 61.
John Kennedy had Camelot, then Lyndon Johnson took his spot.
Richard Nixon, he gets caught, and Gerald Ford fell down a lot.
Jimmy Carter liked campaign trips.
And Ronald Reagan's speeches, scripts all came from famous movie clips. And President Bush said, read my lips.
Now in Washington, D.C.,
There's Democrats in the GOP.
But the ones in charge are plain to see.
the Clintons, Bill and Hillary.
And there was George W. Bush, but then he got pushed. Here comes Obama, he had a lot of drama. Look, here it is Donald Trump, he now rules supreme. But oh no, look at that, he is now the king of memes.
The next president to lead the way, well, it just might be yourself one day. Then the press will distort everything you say. So jump in your plane and fly away.
That was the President song from the 1990s animated comedy television series Animaniacs, and updated on YouTube in 2019 by Judah Studios. Now that we've gotten a presidential overview, I thought we'd devote this episode to America's first 3 presidents. Here, from his album of presidential campaign songs, is Oscar Brand singing Follow Washington, which dates back to 1789.
The The day is broke, my lads, march on and follow, follow Washington. He will lead the way, my lads, 'tis he that leads the way. Where he commands we shall obey, through rain and snow, by night and day. Determined to be free, my lads, determined to be free. Till freedom reigns, our happy bands will fight like true Americans. Until our cause prevails, my lads, until our cause prevails. With heart in hand and God our trust, we'll freely fight. Our cause is just. March on, my lads, lads, march on and follow Washington. The day is broke, my lads, march on and follow, follow Washington. 'Tis he that leads the way, my lads, 'tis he that leads the way.
We now jump from 1789 to 2016 and Lin-Manuel Miranda's brilliant musical, Hamilton. Here are two wonderful tracks from the original Broadway cast recording. The first is I Know Him, in which King George reacts to learning that George Washington is leaving office and that John Adams is to be the new president.
They say George Washington's yielding his power and stepping away. Is that true? I wasn't aware that was something a person could do. I'm perplexed. Are they going to keep on replacing whoever's in charge? If so, who's next? There's nobody else in their country who looms quite as large. John Adams? I know him. That can't be. That's that little guy who spoke to me all those years ago. What was it? 85. That poor man, they're going to eat him alive. Oceans rise, empires fall. Next to Washington, they all look small. All alone, watch them run. They will tear each other into pieces. Jesus Christ, this will be fun. Da 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 da. President John Adams. Good luck.
Our second Hamilton track is The Election of 1800, in which Thomas Jefferson is running for president against Aaron Burr. For those unfamiliar with Hamilton, here are a few facts that will clarify what you're about to hear. Throughout Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson disagrees with Alexander Hamilton about absolutely everything. The two men basically despise each other. Aaron Burr, unlike Hamilton, never expresses his beliefs unequivocally, as he sings in an earlier song from the show, "Talk less, smile more. Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for." Well, at the end of the election of 1800, you'll hear that Jefferson and Burr are tied for their party's nomination, and that it is Hamilton who will break the tie. Here is the election of 1800.
The election of 1800.
Can we get back to politics? Please? Yo, every action has its equal opposite reaction. John Adams shat the bed. I love the guy, but he's in traction. Poor Alexander Hamilton, he is missing in action. So now I'm facing Aaron Burr with his own faction.
He's very attractive in the North. New Yorkers like his chances.
He's not very forthcoming on any particular stances.
Ask him a question that glances off, he obfuscates, he dances.
And they say I'm a Francophile. At least they know I know where France is.
Thomas, that's the problem. See, they See Burr as a less extreme view. You need to change course. A key endorsement might redeem you.
Who did you have in mind?
Don't laugh.
Who is it?
You used to work on the same staff. It might be nice, to get Hamilton on your side.
It might be nice, to get Hamilton on your side. Talk less, smile more. Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for. Shake hands with him, charm her. It's 1800, ladies, tell your husbands, vote for Burr.
I don't like Adams.
Well, he's gonna lose, that's just defeatist.
And Jefferson?
In love with France.
Yeah, he's so elitist. I like that Aaron Burr. I can't believe we're here with him.
He seems approachable. Like who could grab a beer with him?
Dear Mr. Hamilton, your fellow Federalists would like to know how you'll be voting.
It's quiet up.
Dear Mr. Hamilton, John Adams doesn't stand a chance, so who are you promoting?
It's quiet up.
Jefferson or Burr, we know it's lose-lose. Jefferson or Burr, but if you had to choose, dear Mr. Hamilton, John Adams doesn't stand a chance, so who are you promoting? But if you had to choose,
Well, if it isn't Aaron Burr, sir,
Alexander.
you've created quite a stir, sir.
I'm going door to door.
You're openly campaigning.
Sure.
That's new.
Honestly, it's kind of draining.
Burr,
Sir.
is there anything you wouldn't do?
No, I'm chasing what I want. And you know what?
What?
I learned that from you.
if you had to choose, if you had to choose,
It's a tie.
if you had to choose, if you had to choose,
It's up to the delegates.
if you had to choose, if you had to choose,
It's up to Hamilton.
if you had to choose, Jefferson or Burr, choose.
Yeah. The people are asking to hear my voice. The country is facing a difficult choice. And if you were to ask me who I'd promote, Jefferson has my vote. I had never agreed with Jefferson once. We have fought on like 75 different fronts. But when all is said and all is done, Jefferson has beliefs. Burr has none.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, I'll be damned.
Hamilton's on your side.
I'll be damned, well, I'll be damned.
And
You won on a landslide.
Congrats on a race well run. I did give you a fight. I look forward to our partnership.
our partnership.
As your vice president.
Yeah, right. You hear this guy? Man openly campaigns against me, talking about I look forward to our partnership.
It is crazy that the guy who comes in second gets to be vice president.
Ooh, you know what? We can change that. You know why?
Why?
Because I am the president. Burr, when you see Hamilton, thank him for the endorsement.
I began today's podcast by confessing that I haven't the slightest interest in politics or in national conventions, but I will close this episode by sharing a snippet of one national convention keynote address that touched me as a person with a disability very deeply. The year was 1984, and the keynote speaker was Governor Mario Cuomo of New York.
We Democrats must unite so that the entire nation can unite, because surely the Republicans won't bring this country together. Their policies divide the nation into the lucky and the left out, into the royalty and the rabble. The Republicans are willing to treat that division as victory. They would cut this nation in half into those temporarily better off and those worse off than before, and they would call that division recovery.
Here's to an America in which no one will be left out. I hope you'll join me on Tuesday for some more wonderful songs about American presidents. Signing off for now with a song in my heart.